So we go to Carolina, we meet with the doctor, we meet with the team, and I bring AI with me. I had so many consultations at this point, so many conversations. I was forgetting who said what, but I was utilizing this tool, Otter.ai, to record all my conversations. I would ask them, the team politely, if I could record. They never had an issue with that. And it gives me a whole transcript. And I could later go back and plug that into my GPT that remembers the other conversations, it has all the other content, and it could kind of keep updating me with what I'm hearing. And what this doctor shared was what gallium was. And what we learned was it had a lot of research in the biology and the mechanism of action and how it crossed the blood-brain barrier, how it fools cells that are growing quickly, that gallium is iron, but it's not, so they die. And there had been a small phase 1 trial in Wisconsin that showed that it had some efficacy as well as high ability to be tolerated. Actually, it had less side effects than temozolomide, which is standard of care, and we tolerated that really well. So that was a high quality of life opportunity with no additional resections or surgeries, but you could do a couple things with it. And they suggested getting a biopsy while we did the lit surgery. So lit is a very low invasive procedure where they put a probe into your brain. They utilize MRI to get in the right exact space. There's only a millimeter hole drilled, so you can get the biopsy, and you can put the laser on the actual tumor growth and burn it. So it's much more precise. We know better, I think, in brain cancer because it's such a diffuse thing. It's like trying to scrape peanut butter completely off a waffle. You're not going to get it all. So why take the risk of removing good tissue, at least in our case, when you could go in, you could zap it, a biopsy, get that genetic information because, even in 2 years, the genetic testing has improved, the options are improving, and the more we know, the more options we might have if we need them in the future. So kind of like a back pocket. And then lastly, they talked about, how resection's actually pretty high risk. Again, right near the speech center, 5 kids. We didn't want to risk her losing her speech. And we were thinking about gamma tile because it's, precise in the location it's given. But because her tumor was close to the ventricle, that would allow the radiation to kind of penetrate the whole brain. And that's not what we want. So this felt like a good suggestion, a good approach. We could also add Optune onto this. So with gallium, you could do multiple complementary treatments at the same time, where with other clinical trials, you may not have that option.